I'm fueled by beans and Dramamine. You know, you're psychotic when you got a pregame with Dramamine. Lubrication. Center. This is perhaps one of the loveliest times I've ever had climbing. I told myself, Lindsay, make it about you. Enjoy it. You don't have to push yourself to the absolute brink every time. And I'm doing that. I'm learning I can do that. I want to admit something to everybody. Something that I never thought I would admit. Or say. Never anticipated these words coming out of my mouth. I'm starting to think I'm wrong. I think that I may have done bad by picking larch as the species to focus on for climate change. Not wrong in the sense of like, okay, I think that they're a really cool novelty tree. They have like a, I don't know, they represent something really unique about North Idaho for me. Just a cool tree, right? Like, so that's cool. But it's probably not the best thing to do, I'm coming to realize. And now as I'm standing here busting my ass as I'm hanging here busting my ass to do this, I'm starting to have this realization that like, I might have to switch gears. Not give up on this completely, right? I'm going to finish out, like, getting the Scion, and I'll have all the seeds for that, but for the trials for it. I still think it's a good thing, a good avenue, but I'm starting to question if that's the one that I should pour every ounce of my energy into. I hate saying that. Because I've had this realization, okay? Hear me out. There exist these dogmas, these paradigms in life. They're all over. They're in, you know, our cultures, our societies. They're in our families, even in the academic environment. There's just like these decided truths that people don't even question. Almost like decided truths, and nobody even like questions whether or not that makes sense. It's just a thing. Right? And in forestry, the thing is that grand fir sucks. Literally everybody just hates it. Talks about how much they hate it. They call it piss fir. It does stink when you core it and the water comes out. It does smell like trash can water. So that actually does make sense to me. But grand fir makes a good saw log. The loggers love it when they hit big patches of them. They can be fairly quickly growing under the right conditions. You know, in terms of reforestation, it grows like a weed. Like, what we're doing silviculturally is we're trying to get rid of the grand fir habitat type and put back the early seral pines, like western larch right here. White pine, ponderosa pine. That's the MO. That's what we're doing. But the thing is that I have a hell of a time getting the early seral pines to come back. I'm usually at about 70 to 80% success rate. But that's not without a fight. And then the grand fir's still there. Because it grows like a weed and you can't get rid of it. It's a prolific seeder. It puts out just a ton of seed, and I think quite frequently. More frequently than the other species. So I'm like, why are we fighting it? If you're thinking about, okay, it's going to be harder to get the trees to grow back progressively as we move into a hotter future, why wouldn't you pick the thing that's growing the best and do your improvement on that? right? Because I feel like picking tamarack would be kind of like limping it along. And it would still be there, but like in terms of just having a mass quantity of trees, I think Grand Fir, having a mass quantity of trees that you can easily get to reforest as it gets hotter, I think Grand Fir just might be it, actually. I can't believe I'm saying that. Yuck. And it's funny how it's like, there's this piece of me that knows that's true, but after listening to the dogma and after repeating it so many times, it's kind of like hard to adjust to that. I don't know. I've had for a while now, like this sense of like, when people talk about the best species for climate change, I get kind of like, because I know larch ain't it. And when I think about the Grand Fir thing, that feels like it's the right thing. It's my mind that's like, It's been a really weird exercise of figuring it out, so I don't know. At what point in time do I give up on the tamarack and just dive on into the Grand Fir? I don't know. The other thing is it's like a lot of research and just opportunity that way has to do with what people want. And I think if you were to say to somebody, I'm starting a Grand Fir seed orchard, they would look at you like you're an absolute crazy person. I don't think the money would be there. Not necessarily that the money's here for tamarack now, but I haven't given up on that. I've got some emails to send out. I don't know. I don't know what I'm rambling about right now. Think about the paradigms. Think about the dogma that exists in your life. Things that we just take to be completely true without it thinking about why it is fully. For the loggers, it might be the Grand Fir. For the forest people, it might be the Grand Fir. What is it for you? Anyways, have a blessed day.